What if I told you that before you were born, you sat down with your soul guides and literally planned out every major challenge, relationship, and breakthrough you'd face in this lifetime? What if every difficult person in your life, every heartbreak, every moment of struggle was something you actually chose? I know that sounds insane, but here's the thing. There's an ancient understanding that's been hidden in plain sight for thousands of years, documented in texts that most people never get to see. And today, we're going to crack open one of the most profound secrets about human existence. Your life isn't random. It's not chaos. It's not even punishment from some angry deity in the sky. Your entire existence is part of something called the Wheel of Life. And understanding how it works will completely change how you see every single thing that's ever happened to you. Before we dive deep into this rabbit hole, make sure you hit that like button and subscribe, because what I'm about to share with you isn't taught in schools. It's not preached in most churches, and it's definitely not something you'll hear on the evening news. This is knowledge that's been carefully guarded for millennia. Let's start with something that's going to blow your mind. Right now, as you're watching this, you're not experiencing your first rodeo on planet Earth. You've been here before. Multiple times, maybe hundreds of times, and each time you came back for a specific reason. The ancient texts call this samsara, the wheel of existence, but it's not some cosmic punishment system like you might think. It's actually the universe's most sophisticated learning program. Think of it like the ultimate graduate school, except instead of getting a degree, you're working towards something far more valuable, the complete awakening of your consciousness. Here's where it gets really wild. Between each lifetime, you don't just disappear into some void. You go to what we might call a cosmic planning room. You review your last life like watching a movie, except you experience every emotion you caused others to feel. You feel the joy you brought to someone's life. You feel the pain you caused. You experience it all from their perspective. And then, with the help of highly evolved spiritual guides, you plan your next incarnation. You choose your parents. You choose your major life challenges. You even choose the people who are going to hurt you the most. Why? Because those are the people who are going to force you to grow the fastest. Think about the most difficult person in your life right now. That person who pushes all your buttons, who triggers you, who makes you want to scream. Here's the mind-bending truth. Before you were born, you looked at that soul and said, I need you to challenge me in my next life. I need you to be difficult so I can learn patience, or forgiveness, or how to set boundaries. This is what we call soul contracts, and they're not just with the difficult people. They're with everyone who plays a significant role in your life. Your parents, your siblings, your best friends, your romantic partners, even your children, you've all made agreements to help each other evolve. But here's the kicker. You still have free will. These contracts aren't set in stone. You can choose how you respond to every situation. You can choose to learn the lesson quickly through love and understanding. Or you can choose to learn it the hard way through repeated painful experiences. The universe doesn't care which path you take, but it will keep presenting you with the same lesson until you get it. This is where karma comes in, and let me clear up a massive misunderstanding right now. Karma isn't punishment. It's not some cosmic scorekeeping system where bad people get zapped by lightning. Karma is simply the law of cause and effect applied to consciousness. It's the universe's way of showing you the impact of your choices so you can make better ones. Every action you take, every thought you think, every intention you hold creates ripples in the fabric of reality. These ripples come back to you, sometimes immediately, sometimes in future lifetimes, not as punishment, but as opportunities to understand the full spectrum of human experience. If you're someone who has caused others to feel abandoned, you'll experience abandonment yourself until you understand how it feels and develop compassion for those who suffer from it. If you've used power to control others, You'll find yourself in situations where you're powerless until you learn to use power responsibly. But here's the beautiful part. Once you truly understand a lesson, once you've integrated it into your being, you never have to repeat that pattern again. You graduate from that particular classroom and move on to the next level of your evolution. Now, let's talk about why you chose to incarnate in the first place. Before you came to Earth, you existed in a state of pure consciousness where everything was love, unity, and bliss. So why would you leave paradise to come to this often painful, challenging world? Because consciousness has an inherent drive to evolve, to experience itself in all possible ways. In the spiritual realm, you understand love intellectually, but only by experiencing separation can you truly appreciate unity. Only by experiencing fear can you fully comprehend courage. Only by experiencing loss can you deeply value what you have. Earth is like a training ground where souls come to develop qualities that can only be forged in the fires of physical experience. Compassion, resilience, forgiveness, courage, wisdom, these aren't just concepts in the spiritual realm. They're lived experiences that become part of your eternal essence. Think of it this way: you could read every book ever written about swimming, but until you jump in the water, you don't really know how to swim. Similarly, souls can understand spiritual principles in the higher dimensions, but only through incarnation can they embody those principles and make them part of their permanent nature. Your first few lifetimes on Earth were probably pretty basic. You were focused on survival, on figuring out how this whole physical existence thing worked. You were like a spiritual toddler, exploring through trial and error, making lots of mistakes, and slowly building your understanding of how energy works in the material world. As you've progressed through multiple lifetimes, you've gradually developed more sophisticated understanding. You've learned about relationships, about responsibility, about the power of choice. Each lifetime has added another layer to your consciousness, another skill to your spiritual toolkit. And here's something most people don't realize: you're not doing this journey alone. You're part of what's called a soul group, a cluster of souls who incarnate together lifetime after lifetime, playing different roles for each other. The person who's your mother in this lifetime might have been your child in a previous one. Your best friend might have been your sibling. Your spouse might have been your worst enemy in another incarnation. These soul groups work together like a cosmic theater troupe, taking turns playing different characters to help each other learn. Sometimes you're the teacher, sometimes you're the student, sometimes you're the hero, sometimes you're the villain, but you're all working toward the same goal: the evolution of consciousness. This is why you might meet someone and feel an instant connection, like you've known them forever. You have. Or why you might meet someone and feel an immediate dislike or discomfort. That person might be here to challenge you, to help you overcome a particular pattern or develop a specific quality. Understanding this completely changes how you view your relationships. That difficult boss isn't just someone making your life miserable. They're a soul who agreed to help you develop patience or assertiveness. That friend who betrayed you isn't just a bad person. They're helping you learn about boundaries and self-worth. This doesn't mean you should accept abuse or stay in toxic situations. Remember, you have free will. Part of your spiritual growth might involve learning to protect yourself, to say no, to walk away from situations that no longer serve your highest good. The lesson might be in leaving, not in enduring. Now, let's talk about something really fascinating: what happens between lifetimes. When your physical body dies, your consciousness doesn't just disappear. You transition to what we call the interlife, a period of rest, review, and preparation that can last days, years, or even centuries depending on your needs. The first thing that typically happens is a life review. But this isn't some judgment day scenario with a bearded deity keeping score. This is you, working with your spiritual guides, honestly examining your most recent incarnation. You see the consequences of your actions, feel the emotions you caused others to experience, and gain a deeper understanding of the lessons you learned or still need to learn. This review isn't meant to make you feel guilty or ashamed. It's designed to give you clarity about your spiritual progress and help you plan your next steps. You might realize that you mastered patience in your last lifetime but still need to work on forgiveness. Or you might see that you developed great wisdom but need to learn how to share it with compassion. After this review, you enter a period of rest and integration. Physical existence is intense and demanding, and your consciousness needs time to process and absorb all the experiences you've had. During this time, you might reunite with other members of your soul group who are also in the interlife, sharing experiences and supporting each other's continued growth. Some souls spend this time in what we might call spiritual universities, studying universal laws, developing new abilities, or preparing for specific missions they'll undertake in future incarnations. Others might choose to serve as spirit guides for souls who are currently incarnated, helping to send guidance, inspiration, and support from the other side. But eventually, most souls feel the call to incarnate again. There's always another level of understanding to achieve, another quality to develop, another way to experience and express love. And so the cycle continues. When you're ready for your next incarnation, you don't just randomly get assigned to any available body. You work with your guides and your soul group to carefully plan your next lifetime. You consider what lessons you want to focus on, what qualities you want to develop, and what kind of challenges will best serve your growth. You choose your parents based on what kind of family environment will give you the experiences you need. Maybe you need to learn about unconditional love, so you choose parents who will love you no matter what. Maybe you need to learn about overcoming adversity, so you choose a more challenging family situation. Maybe you need to learn about independence, so you choose parents who will push you to be self-reliant. You also plan the major events and relationships of your upcoming life. You make agreements with other souls about the roles you'll play for each other. You might agree to be someone's child to teach them about parenting, or someone's partner to help them learn about intimacy and compromise. But here's the crucial part. Once you incarnate, you forget all of these plans. You have to. If you remembered everything, your choices wouldn't be authentic. You'd just be following a script instead of genuinely learning and growing. The forgetting is actually a gift that allows you to experience life fully and make real choices that shape your character. However, you do get hints along the way. That gut feeling you get about certain decisions. That's your higher self trying to guide you toward your planned path. Those moments of synchronicity when everything seems to fall into place. That's the universe confirming you're on track. Those times when you meet someone and feel an instant connection. You're encountering a member of your soul group. As you progress through multiple lifetimes and gain wisdom, something beautiful starts to happen. You begin to outgrow the need for dramatic lessons. You start making choices from love instead of fear, from wisdom instead of reactivity. Your incarnations become less about learning through pain and more about expressing the love and wisdom you've developed. Eventually, you reach a point where you no longer need to incarnate compulsively. You've mastered the major lessons of physical existence. You've developed the qualities of love, wisdom, compassion, and understanding to such a degree that Earth School no longer has required courses for you. This doesn't mean you stop existing or become inactive. It means you've graduated to a level where reincarnation becomes a choice rather than a necessity. Some souls at this level choose to continue incarnating to serve humanity, to be teachers and guides for souls who are still learning. Others move on to entirely different forms of existence and service. These advanced souls who choose to return to Earth to serve are what we call enlightened masters or avatars. They're not here to learn basic human lessons. They've already mastered those. They're here to lift the consciousness of humanity, to remind us of our true nature, and to show us what's possible when we fully awaken to our divine essence. Throughout history, we've seen these remarkable beings: Buddha, Jesus, Krishna, Lao Tzu, and many others. They came not because they needed to learn something, but because they wanted to teach something. They incarnated voluntarily to show us that liberation from suffering is possible, that we can transcend the limitations of ego and fear, and that love is the fundamental force of the universe. But here's something incredible. You don't have to wait until you're an enlightened master to serve. At whatever level of consciousness you've achieved, you can be of service to others. You can share the wisdom you've gained, offer compassion to those who are struggling, and help create a more loving world. Every time you choose love over fear, forgiveness over resentment, compassion over judgment, you're not just healing yourself, you're contributing to the healing of the entire planet. You're fulfilling your part in the grand plan of consciousness evolution. The ultimate goal of this entire system isn't to keep souls trapped in an endless cycle of reincarnation. It's to help every consciousness realize its true nature as an expression of divine love. It's to awaken us to the truth that we're not separate beings struggling alone in a hostile universe. We're all interconnected aspects of one infinite consciousness, exploring itself through countless unique perspectives. When you truly understand this, everything changes. Your problems don't disappear, but you see them as opportunities for growth. Your relationships don't become perfect, but you appreciate them as sacred contracts for mutual evolution. Your life doesn't become easy, but it becomes meaningful in ways you never imagined possible. This is the secret the ancient texts have been trying to tell us all along. You're not a victim of circumstances. You're not being randomly tested by an unpredictable universe. You're a powerful spiritual being who chose to come here, who planned your major life experiences, and who has the ability to learn, grow, and eventually transcend all limitations. Every challenge you face is a doorway to greater wisdom. Every relationship you have is an opportunity to experience and express love more fully. Every moment of your life is a chance to remember who you really are and why you came here. So the next time life gets difficult, the next time someone pushes your buttons, the next time you're faced with a challenge that seems impossible, remember this. Remember that you're exactly where you're supposed to be, learning exactly what you need to learn, becoming exactly who you're meant to become. Your soul chose this life. Your soul chose these challenges. Your soul chose these relationships. And your soul has absolute confidence in your ability to not just survive, but to thrive and evolve through every experience you encounter. The wheel of life keeps turning, consciousness keeps evolving, and you're playing a crucial part in the most magnificent story ever told. The story of spirit awakening to itself through the courageous journey of physical incarnation. That's the real secret hidden in the ancient texts. That's the truth that changes everything once you really understand it. And now that you know it, your life will never be the same.